Christmas came early for me this year, and I picked up a new plasma cutter for the ridiculously low price of just $81. I was able to score this deal thanks to a discount code that was shared to the Tool Deals Facebook group. If you aren't a member, I suggest checking out the group along with the Tool Deals YouTube channel. Chris always finds a lot of really good deals. I bought this with my own money, so I'm going to give you an honest review. Check down in the description box below for some helpful links.
Here's everything that came in the box. You got the cutting unit. It's lightweight. It's 20 pounds. I measured it on the scale. You can see the front controls. It's just got a little LCD readout dial. Not sure what that does yet. It's got the electrical port and the air port for the torch. And then the ground goes right there. The air comes in through the back. It does come with a regulator. It's all in pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and run a quick connect to the inlet rather than a barb, so that this is eighth or a quarter MPT thread. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a quick connect so I can just hook it up to my airline real easy. And then I might try to mount, there's no good way to mount it, but I did see something in a picture. I might be able to get away with just mounting it to one of the screws back there. You got the ground strap, air from the regulator to the back of the machine. Torch does come with an extra set of consumables with a retaining cap. It's got this 110 to 220 adapter, which the machine needs to be made for that. So this will run off of either or 110 or 220. I do have one of these that came with my TIG welder. I've used it on that before, but I can't go ahead and plug it in with my 220 MIG because this one's not designed for that. It did come with this trash little welding hood. It's not even really a cutting hood. You can't see anything through there. And then a little scraper and hammer. Not sure what this does quite yet. And that's about it. Some instructions. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the regulator together, try to get it mounted, and then we'll get to testing it out. Here's what I came up with for the regulator setup. I mounted it to the one screw on the front right there towards the front of the controller, so that way I got my voltage. Then I got my air, even though I don't really, on my plasma table I just set the air for 90 psi and I leave it at that. But I can do a quick connect right there. And then I ran the hose along here, put a couple cable clamps to these holes just to keep it nice and neat. And the air goes into the back. There's also the on and off switch on the back. Tested it for leaks. The bracket honestly fit a little better when it was flipped upside down. That way it sat on that little notch and wasn't able to rock in any way. Even though I put it on this one so that the way it was before, the weight of this wouldn't be able to pull down on it because it would sit on the groove. There's like a groove on this handle bracket part right here. But I mean, I got it tight enough. I couldn't have the bracket flipped because there's this little notch that keeps the regulator from twisting. Worst case, I can just CNC a new bracket for that, but it's really not that big of a deal. This is only going to get used to cut down sheets. So got the steel all set up and ready to make a test cut. I just have this 3/16 hot rolled mild steel plate that I need to cut down into smaller pieces for my plasma table. I have a guide running along here, which is 3/8 aluminum, and the 3/8 aluminum allows the tip to just barely be off the surface, which is good for the life of the consumables. If you're dragging the tip across and touching, it'll blow back into the consumables and burn them out faster. Got my air hooked up, so let's get this thing cut in half. wanted to show you the cut quality. It's definitely not too bad. I could have been a little smoother with how I moved along, but any little jitters like that right there, that's where I kind of, wobbled a little bit inward or outward. It's hard to keep it exactly flat. I did keep running into an issue where it would just cut the arc. I'm not sure if I was hitting the end of the duty cycle or if the torch was just coming a little too far off of the metal and breaking that electrical contact. But let me flip it over and I'll show you the dross on the backside. As far as the dross goes, it's really not that bad. You can see I started on this side down here, and you can see it gets a little heavier. The slower you go, the more dross you're gonna get. You can see I kind of must have slowed down around here. It's a fine line between too fast to where you're not piercing all the way through, and then too slow where you're getting a big dross buildup. You can see where I started down on this end again. I got the hang of it a little better, so there's barely any dross. Good trick knocking the dross off. You can use a wire cut brush, or you could use a flap disc, but if you got your settings dialed in enough, I had this set just at max since I was doing 3/16. You take a cold chisel and you should be able to, I haven't touched any of this, so let me see, this little section right here looks like it'll come off. So let's see if I can, yep, it'll just knock that right off. And then the edge underneath, that's smooth. It's the only inconsistencies are from where I deviated with the plasma cutter. You can see this right here. It sticks out, where am I? It sticks out a little bit right there. That's just because I was at the wrong angle, so I started to cut a little bit of a bevel on it. But all in all, that's not too bad. So let me get this put away and I'll give you a conclusion. So now that I've had a chance to use it, here are my thoughts. Do I have any buyer's remorse? Absolutely not. At the price I paid, you really couldn't beat it. Even if I'm going to use it once a month to cut down sheets, it's going to pay for itself in time and aggravation and having to use another way and the mess. It's a lot cleaner. I do have a metal cutoff saw, like a circular saw that cuts metal, but it leaves chips everywhere. And this is, this is my driveway and my side yard. I don't want little metal chips all over outside. This pretty much leaves no mess. The only cons I would have to say are some of the things feel a little lightweight. The connectors aren't the most heavy duty compared to my other plasma cutter and some other machines I found. The power cord is a little short, but you do have a good sized lead, a good length of lead, so that kind of makes up for it. The covering on the lead isn't the best. It's kind of a rubbery material that picks up a lot of dirt compared to other ones that are fabric or just a heavier cable in general. But all in all, I mean, it's a great machine. The pros, one of the best things is it's super lightweight. I mean, you could pick this up. I showed you the weight of it before. It's super easy to manage. You don't need a cart for it. You could just throw this thing around. The consumables are easy to find. In the description below, I'll have links to all the parts for this, including like the roller. I didn't end up using the roller, but if you're going to use a guide, I do recommend 3/8 of some sort, aluminum or steel as a straight edge. That worked out surprisingly well. It set me a really good distance. Would I buy this at the full price? I probably would. Even if it wasn't on sale and I needed a plasma cutter just for small jobs here and there, I'd probably buy this. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't know how this compares to other import plasma cutters that are in the low budget range, but for this one, it worked great. I mean, I can see myself getting some good use out of it. I could run this thing. I was running it off of 240. I do like the fact that you could also run it off of 110. I can run this off of a generator that I have and be a little more mobile, throw it in the back of the van if I have to go cut something up somewhere. So overall, I really do like it, and I do recommend it, and I can't say anything for the longevity of it, but if anything goes wrong, maybe I'll make an update video down the line. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching along with me, and I'll see you in the next one.